the top 5 most venomous snakes in the world in this absolutely gorgeous enclosure. Oh, he's sizing him up.
Oh, damn.
He's sizing him up.
In recent years, more and more people have been boycotting zoos, and for good reason. Inadequate husbandry, lack of conservation efforts, and conflicting moral philosophies have been some of the main drivers for this mass movement. But as a person who first fell in love with animals at a zoo, I can't help but feel like there's a middle ground to be found, a medium for both the animals and humans to benefit from. Which is why I decided to visit the Taronga Zoo, a renowned animal park and trailblazer for wildlife conservation, to find out whether or not all zoos should be deemed evil. So join me in this thrilling journey as we tour the Taronga Zoo.
Good morning, all. It is another beautiful day out here in Sydney. I am currently in the Circular Quay, about to embark on one of the, if not the most anticipated parts of this trip, the Taronga Zoo. So ever since I was a kid, I was always enthralled by the animals that they have here in Australia. And I'm especially excited about this trip, mainly because Taronga Zoo is one of the most beautiful zoos in the world. It's located in the peninsula just a couple of minutes away from here in Sydney Harbour. And not only do they have amazing animals and a beautiful landscape, but they are also one of the leaders in conservation here in Australia. And I definitely cannot wait to check this out. I am about to meet up with Javi to take this ferry for a very scenic route towards Taronga. So let's get it.
Established in 1916, Taronga Zoo has been one of the primary attractions for Sydney, housing over 5,000 individuals of 350 different species. The zoo is divided into 5 major sections. The African savannah for all of the animals from Africa, obviously, the Great Southern Oceans that host the marine animals, Nuradia and Backyard to Bush sections that features the Australian animals, the Rainforest Trail that includes all of the tropical species, the Reptile World for all of the herpetofauna, and the Tiger Trek, which was closed at the time that we visited. They also have a new exhibit opening next month called the Amphibian and Reptile Conservation Center, and I'm honestly so bummed to have missed it. Each ticket to the zoo costs about 46 Australian dollars for adults and 27 Australian dollars for children, while the ferry ride costed about 8 Australian dollars from Circular Quay. I also recommend buying your tickets for the zoo online, as you do save a couple of dollars and the hassle. Do also take note that the Taronga Zoo is cashless, which means that you'd have to bring a credit card. I also recommend eating beforehand because the prices and food selection is really not the best. We started off at the lower entrance of the zoo because we planned to take a cable car to the top to get panoramic views of the park. Unfortunately, the cable car was closed and has been for a while now, so I recommend waiting and taking the bus to avoid climbing uphill the entire time. We kicked things off at the Great Southern Ocean section of the park that had a bunch of marine mammals like sea lions, seals, penguins, and more. We also arrived just in time for the seal show, which had the animals performing tricks while the host gave educational talks about each individual, which was really sick. From there, we made our way to the first megafauna exhibit that I was dying to see, the Western Lowland Gorilla.
Alright, now we finally got a good view of the Western Lowland Gorilla. Have over here a female, just enjoying some foliage. I mean, just look at the facial features, guys. So similar to human beings. So we have the male over there. You can see from the apical part of his head that he is the alpha male out here. And wow, look at that, guys. How can you say that we are that different from them? It's such a gem to be able to see them this close in this absolutely gorgeous enclosure.
Next, we headed to the Rainforest Trail. We started off at the beautiful Asian elephant exhibit that was so massive that my vantage points could not do it justice, before entering the aviary.
So the most common animal we've seen here today are females wearing Eras Tour outfits.
Yeah. So here we are in the aviary. try to spot as many birds. Oh, check this one out on the left. Oh, this
It's a Necobar pigeon.
Necobar pigeon.
So that's the closest living relative of the dodo bird. And it can be found in Mindoro, back home.
Yeah, wow, and they're literally just everywhere here. Look, there's one right there. There's another one over here.
Chetachua, if you're watching this.
Saw it before you did. So much for casuals, Cheta. So here we have some forest kingfishers, superb fruit dove, Nicobar pigeon. And this, look, they're not even scared. Just, hey, buddy. Wow, look at that coat, that beautiful plumage with some hints of orange, like almost neon green. Such stunning animals. And over here, it's honestly like bird ASMR. It's birds all over the place.
After the aviary, we saw a bunch of other cool tropical species like langurs, pygmy hippos, Asian small-clawed otters, which can also be found in Palawan, and my personal favorite, the sun bear.
And now we are about to see the sun bear. So if you guys know the meme of the bear that people are saying it just looks like a man in a bear suit, these are the bears that we are talking about. Yeah, it's just a man in a bear suit. Oh, he's a big guy. Check out the paws on this dude. And once again, take a look at this enclosure, guys. Massive. Manila Zoo can learn a thing or two from Taronga.
It was honestly breathtaking to see how much attention to detail were put in these enclosures, and we couldn't wait to see more of it.
Alright, so we just finished up Asia, finished touring around the tiger trek. As usual, most of them were sleeping. The other one was awake, but then out of its enclosure, perhaps due to a cleanup or whatever. And next up is Africa.
This section had what you'd typically expect for African animals. Curious meerkats, towering giraffes with an incredible view of the harbor, and of course, the sleeping kings of the jungle. But what caught my eye had to be the massive chimpanzee enclosure. The entire enclosure was about the size of a football field with tons of enrichment, as is needed by such an intelligent species. From there, we made our way to the section that I was most excited for, the reptile world.
Alright guys, so we're here now in reptile world. Me, myself, I am a reptile nerd, so I do have high expectations. But so far, the zoo has exceeded expectations tenfold. So let's see what they got over here. New guests of the RML vlog. Yes! Yes, welcome! So tagging along some casuals, just kidding. So over here, is this a gharial?
It's a freshwater crocodile, Crocodilus johnstoni. So native to Australia. And yes, that is off the bat.
Now here is the Boyd's forest dragon. Got a pair over here of the Boyd's forest dragon. Another relative of the Philippine forest dragon, which I was lucky enough to encounter in my makiling vlog, which you can check out on the upper right hand corner. These are called the legless lizards. So at first glance you would think that they're actually snakes, but in fact they are from the lizard family, closely related to skinks as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this one's just having a little nap here in the leaf litter. And again, check it out. So pet owners, if ever you think of getting one, make sure to put the husbandry first. This is not a big lizard, but check out this enclosure. Massive. Most people won't even have this size of enclosures for iguanas. Now over here is the coastal taipan, or also one of the top 5 most venomous snakes in the world. I mean, honestly, when you first look at it, it doesn't look so assuming. It just looks like a normal brown snake. But man, these guys deliver a potent neurotoxin that will fire all of the neurons in your body and give excruciating pain. And you should have only a couple of minutes until you say your final words. So best to stay away if I were you. Another one of my target animals, the shingleback lizard. So these are one of the coolest lizards in the world. If you guys take a look at their tail, it is an adaptation that over generations makes it look like it's another head. And what they'll do is they'll crawl into these little burrows when they're being chased by predators and wave their little tail around so that the predators think that it is in fact a head, and boom, they will just survive and scattered away as the tails do grow back. Super, super awesome animals. Here, there's another python. There it is at the back. If you guys can see. This is Villa Escudero in the flesh with the green tree python. Oh, a Fiji! So these are Fiji iguanas. Quite endangered now actually in the wild. But honestly, some of the coolest iguanas that you could ever see in the world. I mean, check out that morphology. Here we have a Eastern Pilbara spiny-tailed skink. This is a central netted dragon.
Looks kind of like a beauty.
Yeah. Beardy, but look at that coloration, man.
Crazy, bro.
Beautiful, beautiful animals. Over here, giving an educational talk. And these are the Hosmer's skink.
You see it? Ah, there it is.
And right here, feeding going on for the frillies. Are these the Australian frillies? Yeah. Feeding some crickets. And also dusted with calcium. Shout out once again to Zoom In. Oh, ano? One of the world's most venomous snake, inland taipan. But it's crazy because they look like relatively normal looking snakes, right? But then one bite from these guys, maybe like 30 minutes at most. Take me. Yeah, you want to talk about something, Pat? You good? You good? Yo, how you been treating here, bro?
Great.
Oh, look at that. Red barred dragon.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, check out these guys. These are really unique. I've never seen these lizards before. And now, for the last exhibit, we have the Mertens water dragon.
It's up there.
Which is up there. Wow, look at that beautiful yellow throat.
Once we were done getting our reptile fix, we finally made our way to the last section of the zoo, Australia. Naturally, this section had the most animals since they are residents to this continent. Taronga had everything from koalas, emus, and this particularly bold wallaby.
Nat Geo right here, guys. What's the wallaby gonna do?
It kills it.
What's the wallaby gonna do? Oh, he's sizing him up.
Oh, damn.
He's sizing him up. Run, Ka, run! So, if you guys want me to get a camera like that, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. So we're here in the Bush Friends exhibit, and here we have some echidnas eating.
In the Neurodia area, so if you go
Insanely strange animals.
sort of go up the hill, you'll get to where you can go to the
Now we're entering the wombat burrow. Just look at this attention to detail that they put in this. Got a southern hairy-nosed wombat. Wow, he's pretty big. Look at the size. He's like probably the size of a American bully. That is not a small wombat whatsoever. Yeah, fun fact about these wombats is that they sleep up to 16 hours a day in the burrow. This helps them maintain their body pressure, their body temperature. And yeah, you can see bellies up for the hot day, just to control some of the heat. Oh, and there's a water dragon just hanging out once again. So if you want to see me hold these guys, make sure to check out the video on the upper right hand of the screen. Now this is the animal that I've been waiting to see, and it is none other than the happiest animal in the world, the koka. So can't really see his beautiful and gorgeous smile right now as he's chewing on some grub, but these guys have such a beautiful smile, and really nice enclosure as well. Yeah. This is the koka, guys. Another bucket list animal of mine to see here in Australia.
And by far my favorite section of the entire zoo, the nocturnal exhibit. Here, they showed some of Australia's most unique wildlife, like the secret agent platypus and the out-of-this-world echidna. The Nuradía and the backyard bush sections of the zoo were by far my favorite, despite not being able to see the other iconic Aussie animals like the dingoes and the Tasmanian devils. Taronga had some of the most unique animals in this planet and easily the most beautiful enclosures that I have ever seen, and I was so lucky to have been able to visit in person. But apart from having state-of-the-art facilities, Taronga does much more to impact the lives of the animals. Through research, education, action, and advocacy, Taronga is leading vital work that supports wildlife, habitats, and communities across the globe. Taronga has a new legacy program that dedicates the next decade of intensive research for the conservation of 10 critical species known as their legacy species that are on the brink of extinction. And thus far, Taronga has been able to save 7 Australian native species from extinction. Apart from research, Taronga also has wildlife hospitals that are responsible for maintaining the health of the animals and providing treatment and rehabilitation for the injured Australian wildlife. According to their website, their hospitals take care of and rehabilitates 1,400 injured or orphaned wild individuals each year, which is astonishing to say the least. And their actions don't end there. Taronga even curates first aid and suitable food guides for rescued wildlife and partners with a range of like-minded organizations across the world by offering grants to create a better world for our animals. Now, the question still stands. Are all zoos evil? As you might be able to tell, this particular zoo does far more than just entertain humans. Apart from sparking an interest and passion for animals to all of their guests, Taronga proactively works towards a better future for our fellow Earth dwellers by allowing you to participate in their overall goal of preserving nature. Now, while I do agree that these animals do not belong in cages, I firmly believe that these patrons create a positive change for our wildlife by helping us build a real connection with these species without compromising on their husbandry. Personally, my passion for wildlife started by visiting a zoo, and now I have committed my entire career towards saving and working with animals. So, the short answer to this question is that not all zoos are evil, as long as they aid in the conservation of species, educate people on how to make an impact on their future, and most importantly, go over and beyond in terms of husbandry. Zoos can change our world with animals for the better. I really hope that more zoos follow the footsteps of Taronga, because I truly believe that this should be the standard of zoos across the world. But that's just my take. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces!